Welcome back to Elder Scrolls Online with Milara Falconsbane. We are currently going through crafting certification, and we're discovering that because we've been breaking things down at the crafting stations, even though we're not certified, that we have a certain level of skills. So blacksmithing was at 10, so she certified us automatically. Woodworking was at 11, so she certified us automatically. We're just going to go and do our clothing certification with her now. We'll see how that goes, but it is a single quest, so this is what this episode will be.
There's only one more certification I can provide. If you need training, I have time.
I'd like to know more about Clothier Certification.
If you convince me you know how to use a needle and thread, I'll certify you. However, you must commit. I can't certify two things at once.
Very well. I want to be certified as a clothier.
Show me you can craft a pair of homespun gloves. First, you'll collect some raw jute, then return here and refine it. Finally, you'll use refined jute to make the gloves.
You'll certify me if I craft homespun gloves?
Of course. It was the first trade I studied. I'm happy to certify anyone familiar with a clothing station. Now run forth and bring me a pile of raw jute.
I'm not a novice clothier, you know.
Come to think of it, I've purchased some of your work.
Wow, really?
You have very distinctive stitching. I can continue purely as a formality, or I can certify you as a clothier right now. Up to you.
Yes, I really want to be certified, thank you.
Already done. You'll now be able to fulfill clothier crafting writs, and I look forward to seeing more of your work.
Thank you.
I have nothing left to teach. Have you spoken with Danelle Teleno? He can certify you in enchanting, alchemy, and provisioning. Last I heard, he was in the local Mages Guild.
I'll go look him up, but I do have a few questions.
Of course. What do you want to know?
Is there anything else I should know about crafting?
I can explain how to craft stronger items with more materials, tell you about the improvement of existing items, or discuss research and traits.
Tell me about crafting with more materials.
You can easily create more powerful weapons, armor, and shields. Simply increase the amount of refined material during an item's creation. Of course, each material has its own limits. At some point, it's just waste.
I'd like to know more about improvement.
You can greatly improve weapons, armor, and shields with certain rare materials. These materials are unique to each craft.
How does a blacksmith improve weapons and heavy armor?
Bring any tempers you find to a blacksmithing station. You can improve the quality of forged weapons or heavy armor. A word of warning, unless you have enough tempers, you can lose your item while improving it. Be sure you know the risks.
And what can you tell me about research and traits?
Some weapons, armor, and shields possess rare traits that distinguish them from others. Every kind of item has its own unique set of traits. Once you research a trait, you will always be able to craft an item of that kind with that particular trait.
And how do I research an item's trait?
Bring any item with a trait to the appropriate crafting station and research it. You'll lose the item in the process, but you'll learn the trait. The more traits you already know for an item, the longer new traits take to research. Plan accordingly.
I want to know more about improvement. If we do that one.
You can greatly improve weapons, armor, and shield. If you bring tannins to a clothing station, you can improve the quality of light or medium armor. Be sure you bring enough tannins, or you could lose your item instead of improving it. There's always a risk.
And crafting with more materials?
You can easily create more powerful weapons, armor, and shields.
Okay.
Simply increase the amount of refined material during an item's creation. Of course, each material has its own limits. At some point, it's just waste.
Never mind, I have some other questions.
Of course.
What
do you want to know?
How did you become a master crafter?
Fair question. I was an apprentice clothier in the Imperial City, but my old fusspot of a master had no plans to retire.
I see.
So I joined the 7th Legion's baggage train. Years of mending battle mage armor helped me perfect my craft.
And how did you learn blacksmithing and woodworking?
Armies need all kinds of weapons and armor. You learn to pick up a few skills along the way. Also, enemies who capture the baggage train are far more likely to ransom an exceptionally talented crafter. 4 times for me. Don't plan on a 5th.
I think I have some other questions.
Of course. What do you want to know?
Actually, you know what? I think I'm done with my questions. There you go. But guys, those are the very basics of crafting your equipment things, and we're going to head on out next episode to find Danelle Tolino. If you've enjoyed this episode and learning about crafting, please hit that like button. If you'd like to see more, please hit subscribe, and I will check you later. Take care out there.